Hello there, this is Ali from the Article of SFA, and today we're going to learn how to draw T'Challa from Black Panther. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I do whenever I draw a person in a portrait is I draw a circle. Now this is important because this will dictate how big I want the head to be. So if you draw a circle tiny at the beginning, you're going to end up with a tiny portrait. Make sure your first circle that you draw is at least the size of your paw. After the circle, I draw the jawline at the bottom and a line of symmetry. Once I'm done with the line of symmetry, I add an eyeline. What that allows me to do is make sure that my eyes are in the right place. Now, all these lines are important because where you put them allows you to dictate where different parts of the face go. So your eyeline has to be right in the middle, as you can see from the guide on the right. Once I'm done with the head, I start working on the trapezius muscles and the neck. Now, T'Challa is a superhero, so he's pretty muscular. Okay, just fixing a few things here and there, adding some lines going up to the clavicle, which was hiding off camera. And once I'm done with that, I start adding details for the eyes and the cheekbones. Now, the circles I'm drawing right now are going to help me draw the eyes later. They're mostly just there to help make sure that the eyes are the right size and that they're in the right place, so you don't make them unsymmetrical, as I'm suggesting on the right. After that, I add a few more identifiable characteristics and give him his horns. Not horns, they're cat ears. Cats don't have horns. Okay. Give him more of a three-dimensional head shape. Now remember, whenever you draw a circle for a head, it's basically a circle pretending to be a sphere. So you have to draw each sides of the head. Not just the front, but some of the sides as well. Now, this is not really that visible over here because T'Challa is not really wearing... he's wearing a mask, so you can't really tell what his head looks like. So we're not really looking at very traditional proportions. Okay, cast shadow underneath the head, doubling down on the design. Now there's a few mistakes here, but usually when I have mistakes, I try to fix them as I move forward, or when I find them. I guess right now I really don't know what the mistakes are. That's okay. Okay, fixing up the eyes. Just doing some final line art before bringing in my ink pens. Okay, I think this is good. Maybe erase all those lines that I drew at the beginning to help me draw the head. Good. So over here I kind of had a mistake where the two eyes in the design of the helmet were not really working very well. So I had to make the design, change it up a little bit. Now there is a reference off screen that I'm using. I can't really make all these minute details from his costume. So make sure that if you are drawing a superhero that has very specific visual characteristics, that you are using a reference. That's very important. Okay, now comes the good stuff. Adding line art. Take your time with this. I'm not actually drawing these as fast as you see them. I'm not Flash. This is actually sped up. So just adding details and more details. I haven't really gotten to the cast shadow yet, but I will add those later on. Oh, there we go. So adding some shadows on the eyes, make them pop. Adding some design elements. So I was actually doing design elements with a pencil first. I didn't really draw them with a pen, even though I was at the inking level. I noticed I'm a little late, so I went back and drew them with a pencil first, and that's what you should do too. Just because you're working with pen doesn't mean you have to work with pen. That doesn't mean you can't go back to a pencil. Okay, adding some serious shadows at the middle, and at the sides, and some more shadows at the bottom. There's a cast shadow underneath the head. That shadow is very important. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to try to add some more shapes to the top. And a little bit of a gradient on the nose to show where the light is coming from. The light is coming from the top, by the way. And now if I have that up. Here I was adding some flares to the cache underneath the head, and I realized that looked ugly, so I covered it up. Okay, making the design all nice, and there's a few mistakes here that I still see, but I think we're pretty good. Okay. Just fixing a few things. You can tell that I'm not really focusing too much on the head down. I'm mostly just focusing on the head. Okay. At this point, you'll probably notice that the color just magically appeared. That was because my iPad ran out of battery and decided that it didn't want to record any of the video. But it wasn't really that complicated. I mostly just added one color, which was purple. I didn't really add black, because if I had black, all my line art disappears. So for that reason, I chose to use purple, because purple is it's a fairly common color in Black Panther. Added some warmer colors. Decided that they were ugly, so I went back with purple and got rid of them. Added some more purple. And now I'll add some red to the negative space around T'Challa. I don't know where he is, where it's so red in the background. Maybe it's like the sun setting or something. And adding some more darker values. And I think I'm close to being done here. Yep, cool.